What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Philly with John Marks on PHLY. Is always brought to you by BetParx. We're live on a Tuesday morning. Shout out to all of our 8 a.m.ers. We're live every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m. You can watch live on YouTube. Get involved in the chat. Like many of our regulars already on there this morning. Good morning to K-Red, INS. INS says, if you do a side-by-side of Young John and Tim Bontemps, bet you can't tell the difference. Good morning, Michael Haynes and everybody else out there. I don't even know how to react to Tim Bontemps. He's not a doppelganger for me. Anyway, so as always, watch live on YouTube every morning from 8 to 9 a.m. If you're not watching this live, totally acceptable. Watch it whenever you want to on YouTube. Just like and subscribe. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, and comment. Comment on what we're talking about here. Get involved in the show. We appreciate you. Also, our audio-only podcast listeners, viewers, listeners. It's audio-only version available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Philly with John Marks. Rate and review, 5 stars only. Otherwise, don't review because it only brings our stars down. Thank you. We appreciate it. Big show today, and we're going to do it live. And we're going to do it live with a man who's back from Phoenix, Arizona. He got a suntan out there. You'll see it. From blackgritty.com. Black Gritty joins us this morning. Black Gritty, how are you?
I'm trying to find out who Tim Bone Jones Tempe is.
Tim Bontemps is I believe he's a basketball writer for ESPN.com. But if you go and you look at his pictures, clearly doesn't look anything like me. I'm much more handsome. Like, this is honestly, it's insulting that he would say that I look like Tim Bontemps. Not a handsome fella there.
That's a weird comp. That is not.
Yeah, I normally get the short white guy comp like Mac from Always Sunny or.
This is 0% lineup. This is zero. You're beating the charges if you get in the lineup and this is the guy that they're trying to compare you to.
Yeah, I mean,
number 5, step forward. That's definitely not him. You don't beat the charges, Johnny Marks.
All right,
you
well,
beat the charges.
Black Gritty, how was your it wasn't a vacation. You were out in Phoenix on business. How was it?
Yeah, good. It was good. Conference, met people, shook hands and babies. Wait, was it you kiss the babies? You don't shake the babies. Whatever you do, the right thing with babies. I think you kiss them, don't shake them.
Yes,
don't shake the babies. People.
Kissing babies, shaking hands.
Yeah.
Now, were you in prison when you were out there? Because you were wearing an Adebisi from Oz cap this morning.
Hey, there wasn't one cloud, and I am the type of person that doesn't use suntan lotion or oil, whatever you call it. But I was like, man, my noodle was cooking, so I had to put, this is my addition of sunscreen out here, and that's about what that was. But I love Arizona. You don't sweat, but your brain starts cooking, and you start feeling fuzzy because the drinks start hitting you.
Well, it's only April. So it's not like go back in the summertime. But to your point, the whole it's a dry heat. No, like a dry heat is much different than a Philadelphia or a Florida heat.
Yeah.
You really don't like you don't really sweat. It's hot and you feel it, but you don't sweat.
It was 92 degrees and I'm like, man, this is like one of the greatest days ever. If it was 92 degrees here, I'd be digging a hole and laying in the ground like 3 feet under, trying to just cool off in some mud. It was really nice. Didn't see one cloud. 5 days, didn't see one solitary single cloud.
Never. Very.
That's how Arizona is.
You're in the desert, brother. I'm off the wagon. I hadn't had an energy drink for a couple of weeks. We talked about it yesterday, but I couldn't help myself. The C4, it was 2 for $4 at Target, and I'm like, oh man, I can't. So this is a Jolly Rancher, a watermelon Jolly Rancher C4. Oh, and it's so good, man. Oh, it's good. It's good. Tyler Zuli, I'm going to have to bring a couple in for you. All right, there it is.
There it is.
Come on.
That's so. Like I said, you're beating the Chargers, bro. There's no way the Lions match.
He's got a fat face. All right, maybe my face is a little bit fatter right now, and I don't want to shave the beard in large part because the face. Come on. Thank you, Tyler, for doing that.
And by the way, I had Jolly Ranchers was my airplane snack. I took Jolly Ranchers on the plane so I could have I have some hurricane. I haven't had Jolly Ranchers forever either, so you saying that now I'm gonna have to go get one of those drinks just to taste it.
All right, so what's the go-to Jolly Rancher flavor? Is it apple or watermelon?
It is apple. Apple is my number one.
Yeah.
Apple is crack cocaine. Yeah.
Apple or watermelon were 1, 2. Strawberries are good as well.
Yep. I like the raspberry, the blue one. Grapes always last.
Yeah, not a great one.
Grape is last.
Not a great one. All right, well, Black Gritty, you may have saw that the Eagles, some Eagles, visited the White House yesterday. So let me say this, and this is going to be a short conversation. Black Gritty, you've listened to me on the radio, or you listen to me on the radio for a long time. Am I ever a person that's like charged up to talk about politics, or that talks about politics at all? Right?
Not at all. It's not your jam.
Not my jam. You know why? Because I don't want to bang my head against the wall, because if people want to talk politics, I feel like you don't come to me to hear politics. You come to me to hear nonsense in sports, but whatever. Yeah. But the Eagles did go to the White House yesterday, and notably, some didn't go to the White House, and some did go to the White House. Saquon Barkley was golfing with Donald Trump and was at the White House. A lot of the Eagles were at the White House yesterday. Some weren't at the White House, notably Jalen Hurts. There was a scorecard. You knew it was going to happen. So put that on social media in today's political climate. Then everybody's angry. Oh, Jalen Hurts didn't go to the White House. Oh, Saquon Barkley went to the White House and is golfing with Donald Trump. Let me make this very clear, and then we can move on from it and actually talk about the draft. I don't care if Jalen Hurts went to the White House or didn't go to the White House. That's his choice. I don't care if Saquon Barkley wants to go to the White House and hang out with Donald Trump. That's his choice. This is America. And if guys want to do it, if they choose to celebrate with their team and go to the White House, fine. If they don't want to, and they don't want to go to the White House, whether there's a scheduling conflict or not, or whatever the hell happened, I don't care. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. I'm happy. I saw the videos and the stills from yesterday. Dom got shouted out first by the president. Great. People that went, the players that went, and staff that went, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I do. The guys that didn't want to go, fine. I don't care. This is America. Can we realize this is America and people are entitled to have choices and to have their own opinions and to choose? And I'm not going to look at them any differently because of it, Black Gritty. There you go.
I care, and I'm going to look at them with a side eye. I mean, I'm not going to hate anybody. I'm not going to, because it is right. You do got your own choice, and my choice is to care. You have a show you have to do every day. So when you say you don't care, and I know that you really do, that's like the minimal thing you have to say about it. My favorite thing are the people that all day long yesterday are like, I don't care what they do, but then you read tweet after tweet after tweet, and I can literally see what side you're on. So most people are on a side. Again, I know you're not going to talk about it, but like when people say they don't care, you do care. You don't care about politics at all. I know you don't, but everybody cares. Everybody's got a team, home team that they're picking for. And unless you don't care about politics or sports at all, how could you not care? So, I mean, I'm not going to like hate on anybody and be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to hug Big Dom again if I see him. I'm not doing that. That's, you know what I mean? That's not what they do. Like you said, is their choice and their prerogative, but I care.
So
I care.
like most notably, Jalen Hurts not attending and Saquon Barkley attending. So one side of the political spectrum says, oh, now I'm looking at Saquon Barkley differently. The other side of the political spectrum says, oh, really? Now I'm looking at Jalen Hurts differently. I promise you this, Black Gritty. I promise you this. I'm going to look like a politician wagging my finger. I don't look at Saquon Barkley any differently at all. I don't look at Jalen Hurts any differently at all. So when you say, well, I know you care, like, really don't. I really don't. And I'll just leave it at that. Saquon Barkley, I saw a lot that was said about him yesterday. I saw pictures of him and his wife that were put up there because are they married or are they engaged? They've engaged.
Maybe.
They have children together. And she's
Yeah,
white. So now it's like, oh, now I understand. And it's like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing right now. I promise you, and I just want to end this conversation. The Eagles were at the White House yesterday. It's awesome because they won the Super Bowl. The players that wanted to attended, and I hope they had a great time. The players that didn't attend, and I hope they had a great time doing whatever the hell they did yesterday. But and because I don't like, I'm apolitical, and people are apolitical. Hey, you're a loser if you're apolitical. Fine, call me a loser. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. This is my 3 minutes of political talk that you'll get for the year from me. There you go.
Vote for Johnny Marks, not Tim Bone Tempe.
Correct, Tim Bontemps. Yes,
Tim Bontemps.
Yeah, that's the wildest thing that I've heard in a long time. That I'm the doppelganger.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
that's crazy.
Well, I'm probably older, so I wouldn't say the other way around. The older person always is that he looks like me, I don't look like him.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. This portion of the program brought to you by Glad Hair Restoration. GladHairMM.com, 610-980-4000. Text or call them if you want to, because Tim Bontemps doesn't have my hair, right? Like, you put up the Glad Hair Restoration Tyler, right? Like, come on, man. I'm much more handsome than Tim Bontemps. Give me a break. All right, so day after. So we had the reaction yesterday from the weekend, and now like we've are like taking a breath and we've looked, and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So it's not like that we're like really that worried. Like, oh my God, you need this position to replace here. And like the day after, I talked about it yesterday. Tyler talked about it yesterday. What's your reaction, Black Gritty, from what the Eagles did Thursday, Friday, Saturday? What do you think?
This is the first year in a long time where I didn't care about the draft. I didn't watch the draft. And there might have been something about all the girls running around Tempe that kept me busy. But I think it was more so the case of I trust Howie now. And we talked about this for years. You've been trying to get on the Howie parade, and I told you 2024. Well, 2024 was right on time because everything in line. We won the Super Bowl. And to back him up, I really believe in Vic Fangio.
Yes.
They have wanted that style of coaching for such a long time, and they've had the doppelgangers of Vic Fangio come in here and be defensive coordinators. But now that you got the original master copy and the way he coaches and the way he saw players last year, you know, he had a linebacker that did all preseason, all post games, everything. And they sent him home. He's sitting by a campfire while we got game one. You're like, why is Zach Bond in here? Like, what do you mean? We brought this other guy. But he saw what he saw. He played who he wanted to play. And for the first time, Howie Roseman didn't say, hey, I brought in this free agent. I draft this guy. You have to play him. Vic brought up these young guys and did what he wanted to do. Jalix Hunt, why are you getting a guy from a Christian school? I don't even know who that, why would you? Showing up and showing out. So I really had full confidence in the draft. Defense, sprinkled in some offense late for Stoutman University to stash and grab and build for the future. I absolutely loved the draft. I loved everything about it because even if I don't even know the kid, and you can go watch highlight tapes, everybody looks good in their highlight tapes, I know Vic Fangio knows what he wants for his system. Everybody's like, they never pick linebackers in the first round. Again, when you got the architect, he's the one telling you how I can run my system. So now we're out here drafting linebackers. It's a good day, Johnny Marks. You don't pay running backs. We did it. Look what happened.
It's a great day, man. Yeah, I mean,
you don't get linebackers. He's stacking up on linebackers. I'm just saying, Johnny Marks, it feels real good. And that's like Super Bowl goggles. That's Vic Fangio goggles.
Make me feel good. It's you brought up Fangio in the first thing that you said, and it's a really, really good point because when you look at the draft, and it's like, doesn't it feel like Fangio's fingerprints are all over what the Eagles did? And this is where I think you have to give Howie Roseman a lot of credit. Is he isn't saying, well, I'm the general manager. I've won 2 Super Bowls. No, he's saying, thank God we have Vic Fangio. Vic, help me. Let's get the best players in here. Right. And then, like, why wouldn't you do that? But there's so many GMs that have this ego thing where they're not going to allow that. No, they did. They didn't get Vic Fangio light and Vic Fangio Bobo. They got Vic Fangio. And he was better than advertised. I mean, Jesus, look at what they did last year. So lean on him and get the players that he wants. And that's what they did. And it's awesome.
And that's what I mean about Howie is 100%. Not that Howie hasn't been good. You know, I've been poo-pooing him for a long time, so it's fun to keep grumping on him. Not that he hasn't been good to great, but that shows your true greatness when you say, hey, you had the number 1 defense. I had to let 11 guys go. Tell me what you want and what you need to replenish the coffers to get us back to what we just had. Hands up. And he said, look, I need linebackers, bro. Cool. I need a polar bear in the middle. Cool. You need a stick 'em and grab INT safety. Got you. What else you want, Dad? Nothing. Cool. Let's get some linemen out here for Stoutland University and keep it pushing.
Yep.
So I was ecstatic. I really thought they was going to get Shadeur real quick. I really did. And then the Browns jumped back in there and got their 19th quarterback.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that in Block B of the. I didn't want to do the White House and Shadeur Sanders in the same segment. It might be overdosing on that.
Yep.
But yeah, like Jihaad Campbell to me is, and again, some teams may have looked at him as a strict linebacker, so he doesn't have the same value as Vic Fangio looks at him and says, versatile. I can use him in a lot of different ways. If you heard Howie speak after the draft pick, they're looking at him as an edge rusher long term. Yeah. And that's exciting to me. He is a guy like they're drafting in a good way, violent, aggressive, high motor players on defense to add to guys that are already like that. Andrew Mukuba, who's 5'11", 186, but lays the wood like a much bigger guy. That's an interesting pick. The Eagles obviously looked at him and said, this is a player that we see in our scheme. CJ, who was a coverage corner that could also play the run a little bit, or coverage safety that could come up the slot, can play the run a little bit, is a ball hawk, always seems to have a knack for being around the ball. That's Mukuba. They look at him and say he's a little bit of a smaller version of CJ, maybe hopefully not as much of an idiot. And Ty Robinson, I'm just telling you, if I'm buying an Eagles jersey on the defensive side of the ball, Ty Robinson might be the guy I'm going for. I can't wait to see this guy play. Big monster, getting after the quarterback, batting passes down. Come on now, Black Gritty.
So two things that crack me up about, like, when people complain about things. The Campbell thing, they're like, well, he's a linebacker. I'm like, do you not pay attention to football? Because the Dallas Cowboys have been playing this Mickey Mouse game of trying to call Micah Parsons a linebacker instead of a defensive edge because it's how you want to pay the guy. And where they line him up, he moves around all the time, and you want to compare him to Micah Parsons. Well, Micah Parsons is the same thing. You pull him back, you push him up, but he wants to be a defensive end because he wants that DN check, not a linebacker check. Secondly, the Robinson, like, he's older, right? He's like a 6-year college player.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, he's a grown man. Like, imagine you're stuck in the woods and there's a dude with a cabin, and the only thing you do to save your life, he's taking on the grizzly bears, the polar bears, the black bears, everybody, and he's winning. And so I don't care that he's 92 years old. All I needed for is through his rookie contract. Got him for 5 years. He'll be 30. He can retire.
So he's 20. So he's 24 in May in a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody act like he's like 30 years old already. I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, who cares?
Like, relax.
Who cares? You got him for 4 years on the cheap, and then if he outprices himself like Milton Williams, awesome. Yeah, go exactly. Get your pay. We love you, Ty. You come back, and celebrate the next Super Bowl we win with us.
Yes. And Nebraska, so Jurgens was really happy about it. Like, it's just, if it was a good draft. I know that everybody feels like they won the draft. I feel like we got what we needed and replenished the coffers, and I'm excited to see these guys get coached up under Fangio. I hope Fangio stay for like 5 more years, bro. They was asking them questions. I don't want you going out on top. I want you going out on top, tippy top.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He can be Belichick in his 70s with a 25-year-old girlfriend, and I'll be fine with that. He's got at least 10 more years he can coach Vic Fangio.
That's what I'm saying.
Why not? We'll discuss we have the video from the 60 Minutes interview that Bill Belichick did over the weekend. I don't know if you caught any of this, Black Gritty, but
I did.
He is wilding right now. Listen, if I'm in the Belichick family, I'm very concerned about my potential in getting the estate of Bill Belichick, because this chick's going to take everything from him.
I need an intervention ASAP. If I'm, I don't know. Does he have kids?
Yeah, Steve is his defensive coordinator.
His boys, yeah. Oh man, Dad, what are we doing?
And there's another one that's I think he's a specialty, but yeah, he's got 2 sons to coach. And he's got a daughter too. Yeah, what do you think they think of this?
Intervention time. Oh man, what was the actress, blonde, with the old billionaire?
Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole Smith. That's what it feels like. Anna Nicole Smith situation.
Yeah, she's the best looking
jeopardy.
blonde, big natural boobs, just like absolutely gorgeous in her 20s. And there's an 80-year-old dude that can barely is in a wheelchair and can barely move.
Wheelchair, yep.
Awesome.
And it was love at first sight.
Man.
Love at first sight. And fighting for the estate when he passed. Like that's what it feels like was about to go down over here.
Man. All right.
And she's running Belichick too. We're gonna watch the clip. She's running, dude. That's the scary part.
Yep.
I thought Bill was a monster.
No, he's
a cuddly, wuddly teddy bear.
No, he's like a simp at this point. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
He's under a spell. Yep, it's crazy.
All right, coming up, Phillies Nationals. Start a series. Phils win 2 or 3 over the Cubs. How we feeling about the squad? We'll get into that. Tyler Zulli will join us for that conversation. Also, Shadeur Sanders. What do we think about that particular situation? Sliding all the way to the 5th round. We'll discuss and break all that down. Philly with John Marks. Don't you go anywhere. No, don't go anywhere. So listen, if you're in the market for flooring, all right, carpeting, hardwoods, vinyl, right? Unfortunately, I would have loved to go to Empire today because I dealt with other companies when I had work done in my house. All right, so like in my basement, I have vinyl. Upstairs, I have hardwood, carpeting, and everything else. But the reason why you go to Empire today is because they're the experts. That's all they do is flooring, right? Like you could try to save $1 or $2. And by the way, you're not really saving any money, but you think you're going to save money. So you go to the big box store and Larry from plumbing comes over to try to help you because there's no one working in flooring, right? Well, don't do that. They live and breathe flooring every single day and they're with you every step of the way. It is an entirely different ballgame with Empire today. So they're flooring experts and they bring the showroom right to you. Right? Like, why would you want to be in some showroom when they can bring it to you? So now you have everything there and you know what it's going to look like in your home, in your space, with your furniture, with everything else. It matters. That matters, right? So you can pick what you want and you need right from your home. You're getting precise measurements and you're having all your questions answered. So there are no surprises and you're getting clear upfront and all-inclusive pricing. There's no games here, everybody. And you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. So you want to schedule a free in-home estimate because some things are just better at home. I got something for you. You see it right up there on the screen if you're watching. $350 off. Just use code PHLY. That's correct. $350 discount with code PHLY. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/PHLY for full details. That's Empire Today. All right, let's talk about it. BetParx app, my guys. All right, so Philadelphia baseball back tonight. Zack Wheeler on the mound. It's actually going to be a really, really good matchup. MacKenzie Gore, who gave him fits in their first matchup of the season. So that's interesting. How about live betting on all of your favorite sports? How about the pro basketball playoffs that's going on right now? Legit. And I've been hot. So we'll have the BetParx Parlay of the day coming up later on in the program, so you got to stay tuned for that. But you can bet on everything, the games, individual player performances like player hits, home runs, RBI, strikeouts, and much more. The BetParx online sportsbook and online casino app has you covered. It's the only app I would ever recommend to bet on sports and to play all of your favorite casino games with live dealers. How about blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, and hot online slots? How about Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, and Cleopatra? Also, all of your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are. And new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Just go to betparx.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hooah. All right. We are back. Philly with John Marks. Black Gritty on the program today. Black Gritty. Black Gritty.
Black Gritty.
Tyler Zulli, who will have a live PHLY Phillies show today, also in the house today. As guys, the Phillies take 2 or 3 against the Cubs. Day off yesterday. Start a series at home against the Washington Nationals. And All right, get swept by the Mets. That sucked. Mets are rolling, man. They won last night. I think they're 20-7 now in the season. For all the people that thought they were going to fold, and I liked the idea of them folding, I was like, they're not even up be as good this year. They look like they're pretty good, Black Gritty.
So, first of all, the Phillies are winning the World Series. You heard it here first. Even when the sky's falling, I still have to say it because I'm a man of commitment. And I hate the Mets so much. And the Mets are on fire now. They're going to dwindle out. They're still the Mets. And, I mean, they're out here doing standing ovations after they tried to clown us about it. Like, they're doing that in, like, the first month of baseball. So, they're going to trip on their own selves, and they better trip on their own selves. I hate the Mets. Hate them.
Phillies are still winning the World Series, right?
Yes. George W. guaranteed. Guaranteed. I got money on it.
All right, so
I'm going to be rich.
So Tyler Zulli, 2 of 3. Phil's win in Chicago. I was very happy with the series win. Bullpen's looking pretty good. Romano actually is pitching pretty well, despite losing one of those extra inning games last week. But all in all, now you have matchups against the Nationals. You got 3 this week. How are you feeling about things?
Yeah, it was a good series win. It was a team that they were facing in the Cubs that coming into the series was averaging almost 7 runs a game. They held them to 9 in the series. It doesn't take like a scientist to say that that's 3 runs per game. It's more than half of, or less than half of what they normally score. Pitching was great. I know Taijuan Walker battled a little bit in the first game, but Jesus Luzardo was excellent in the second game. Aaron Nola with his best start on Sunday Night Baseball. I thought it was a more complete series win. You know, there were struggles, and listen, that top of the 10th on Sunday night was a bleep show at times with the Johan Rojas bunt and
they're so bad in situational hitting like that.
But they also worked 3 walks and ended up scoring 2 runs out of it. So, you know, I think you can forgive it a little bit. But it was a good series win overall. It's a good Chicago team who, by the way, has played the hardest schedule in all of baseball. They have played exactly 0 teams and 0 games against opponents under 500 this year.
Phillies at 15-13 now. Bryce Harper, is there? I'm not saying like the iPhone alarm that's rant, and when it wakes you, if that's your alarm and it wakes you up, you think that there's bombs coming your way. A softer alarm that wakes you up without having you shoot up in bed and go crazy. He's batting .231 right now. Black Gritty, any reason for worry?
So, you know how it is. You've got children. The wife's having a baby. You know what I mean? You got a little stress in your mind. Stuff's going on with the family. I don't know what it is. Under pressure, he kind of always does it because he loves big moments and he plans for them. He's very much like LeBron in that way. He knows when the 300th hit or home run is coming up. He knows when moments are special or a number special. But he feels like he's just trying too hard. And I don't know if his back's tweaked. I'm trying to make up all the excuses in the world because I don't know what is going on with Bryce Harper. But I also know that he's still Bryce Harper. The other night, like, they usually lose that game. Sunday night, like, I'm watching the game, I'm like, oh my God, they're just going to lose.
Yep.
And you felt it. And they pull it out and they win it. And so if we could just squeak out wins like that and close games, I'll be okay. But man, I don't know if it's his back. I don't know if he's not making enough bagels at home. I know he's doing his little artisanal stuff at home now. I don't know what is going on with Bryce Harper. But you're right. I can't hit snooze but so many more times, bro, because the alarm keeps going off every day.
So Schwarber's been cold as well. His average is down to 242. Harper's still walking a lot. So if you look at the on base percentage, he's still getting on base. Tyler, I'll say this: I have no worries about Bryce Harper. I don't think he's injured. He's streaky. So when he gets his own in his own head, he's constantly messing with his swing, messing with his stance in the batter's box. At some point, hopefully soon, he's going to find his way out of it. What I think is we're going to see right now in this next week is you're going to see Harper and Schwarber get hot at the same time at home against a Nationals team. I know Gore's pitching tonight, so maybe that's not good for Harper as far as a left-left matchup. But I think you're going to see it's supposed to be warm all week. So let's get a little home cooking for Brycey.
Yeah.
Let's get some home runs. Let's get some multi-hit games. Let's get him hot because we look at 231. We could be doing a show next week. He's batting 270. These numbers fluctuate pretty quickly.
And Schwarbombs, he's going to heat up in May, June anyway. Like I don't even think about that. Like it doesn't even matter to me. Like he hit a couple bombs early. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Just wait till the weather gets warm. He goes nuclear, and it's like clockwork. You can set your clock by it. So, like you said, Bryce is streaky. That's what I'm not worried about Bryce. I'm hitting the snooze button on the alarms. I'm not waking up yet. But I mean, come on, baby. Let's get this cooking.
Well, I will say, and the one thing I think people misconstrue a little bit is that, like, he's swinging and missing a lot this year. There's no question about it. But he swings so often in terms of, like, the amount of swings he takes per at bat that he's bound to swing and miss quite a bit. His whiff percentages, like, across his career have actually been pretty bad. And that's just what you expect with Bryce Harper. And then he connects with one, as you bring up, right, like 2-hit night where he hits one 435 feet. This year, it feels like he's swinging and missing a little bit more. In fact, he is. Like, right now he's at 35.3% whiff rate. It's the highest of his career. But he's been routinely in the 30s, 32, 33 for a lot of his career. His career average is 29.4, but he's been in the 30s many, many times throughout his career. It does just feel right now like he's swinging through a lot of stuff. And I think more often than not, it feels like it's the lefty-lefty breaking ball that he's missing quite a bit right now. And I feel like he's pulling off just a little bit. I'm not worried, but that is the one thing of note to me is that I do think it does feel like he's swinging and missing quite a bit right now, especially with, like, early in the count, no strikes, one strike type of thing.
So I like when the stats work out to how I feel. So that way my feeling is accurate.
Yeah. Zack Wheeler tonight. Tyler, they don't have pitchers.
Yeah,
I
mean,
looked around for games 2 and 3. They don't have pitchers.
My guess is that I would think that maybe they're thinking about Thursday or Friday being a Ranger Suarez start, and that is probably what's holding them up. So Taijuan Walker pitched on Friday. Luzardo pitched on Saturday, and Nola pitched yesterday on Sunday. So I would imagine tomorrow is going to be Christopher Sanchez. After that, I think is where they're
if he's okay.
And that too, right? Assuming he's healthy, right? We haven't really gotten much update. So assuming Christopher Sanchez is healthy, it's going to be him. If not, you may see Joe Ross get a spot start. They may go to Orion Kerkering to be the opener because they've done that in years past. They may also like call up Kyle Tyler or somebody like that for a spot start. Somebody that's on the 40 that doesn't really impact them too much. But yeah, I think that's why is they're waiting on Christopher Sanchez and they're waiting on Ranger Suarez.
All right. Well, the fact that you haven't heard anything, from about Christopher Sanchez doesn't make me very confident. Today, you're probably going to get something. They're going to ask Rob Thompson about it before the game, and you're either going to get he's starting or he's not starting. I would tend to believe he's not starting, but we'll see. And
remember, guys, too, with the day off, today is actually technically Christopher Sanchez's scheduled day to throw, but we know that Zack Wheeler hates the extra day, so because they had Thursday and yesterday off,
he pitches.
They're feeling comfortable with Wheeler pitching today. So. The Phillies seem to be, quote, encouraged about Sanchez, but we won't really have anything right now.
Yeah, sure. We'll see. All right, Black Gritty, Shadeur Sanders. The big story of the draft was Shadeur Sanders and his slide. You had Mel Kiper Palooza that went on all weekend live. But I'm telling you, some people hated it. I've seen columnists and I've seen other people in the media criticizing Mel Kiper, and I can understand that because he was so beside himself and it was all about Shadeur Sanders. I couldn't get enough of it. He was so freaking mad about the whole thing. It was hilarious. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
I apologize for you. I know you're a professional, but you're mispronouncing his name. It's Mel Sanders, okay? His name is Mel Sanders. And my dude was repping. He had his cape on. He had a flamethrower out. First of all, I loved it just for content's sake. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's like, dude, this is like one of the boringest things in the world. Mel Kiper made the draft what it is. I'll be completely honest with you. Like, he's wrong 88% of the time, but it wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't for Mel Kiper. If it wasn't for him being like a nerd, like how Tyler's a nerd, wanting to care about numbers and whiffs and oxygen, we wouldn't have the draft being what it is. So the king of the mountain can do whatever he wants. So when he was feeling it, he had so much job security, Johnny Marks. He was talking reckless to everybody. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. You know they don't know. I was like, oh my God. It was must-see TV. The viewership was the highest it's been in a decade.
Because of that. Because of Sanders. And Black Gritty, I can tell you, like on Saturday, I wasn't in front of the TV the whole day. I was doing most of what's going on with the Eagles on my phone. And I was doing family stuff. You know what everybody was checking on? Did Shadeur Sanders get drafted? Everybody.
Yep.
It brings people to the TV. And Mel Kiper made it. I mean, it was awkward too. Because the people on the panel with him, Lou Riddick seemed annoyed. Reese Davis at one point was like trying to was almost pleading with him to stop it. Like, no, keep Mel, you be you. Man, it was something else. Now, the actual player sliding and getting drafted in the 5th round. So we have the video. If you're listening on the podcast, you're not going to hear anything. But this is how it looked. This is Andrew Berry, the Browns GM, and Kevin Stefanski, their head coach. As the pick is being announced, they seem less than thrilled, Tyler. You can whip it up there. Andrew Berry looks so mad. Golf clap by Kevin Stefanski. The camera's on him. They tried to explain it, which was fine. See, here's the problem. All right, first from the Browns perspective. They passed on Shadeur Sanders and picked a guy I don't think can play in the 3rd round, the quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. I was shocked when they took him. Everybody in the league passed on him at least 4 times, right? Teams that needed quarterbacks wanted nothing to do with them. And then the Browns right now, forget about Deshaun Watson, have Joe Flacco, who's the starter, Kenny Pickett, who they just traded for, is making $2.6 million, a 3rd round draft pick, and now Shadeur Sanders. Who the freak is not making the team here? They have 4 quarterbacks. Are they trading Kenny Pickett? Who the hell wants him? Right? Like, what are they doing? It's unbelievable.
So I know. So there's one thing. You think there's collusion, or you think that he deserved it, or you think that he just sinks, or whatever. I'm going with collusion, and I feel like, okay, somebody made a call, and not for nothing. However you want to feel about it, when it gets to the fact of where Patrick Mahomes is tweeting, I think Patrick Mahomes tipped the scale, because if you look at the timeline, he tweets crazy. What is going on? Next thing I know, Shadeur Sanders is getting talked about by the Eagles picking him up, and then the Browns jump the Eagles, come get him. I'm like, the whole league wanted to know what was going on. So saying that the guy sucks, he deserves to get where he got, dude, when you're projected to be number 1, if you got an attitude problem, dude, we're hiring criminals, murderers, and people approves of sexual assault. So I mean, like, there's a way to get you to the league, right? This kid flashes a watch and his daddy's a Hall of Famer. This is the problem because he believes in himself. It's just weird. But I'll say this. Hey, at this point, the Browns pick him. They can cut him. And then what are you doing? Because now everybody's done picked up 3 and 9 other quarterbacks, and now he's sitting out there in limbo because everybody's already drafted other quarterbacks.
They could trade him. If he looks good in the preseason, all of a sudden the preseason happens and the teams are like, all right, like, he's been fine since he was drafted. He doesn't seem like as much of a dick. So, like, let's trade a 4th round draft pick for him or whatever. But to your point, and I 100% agree with this, remember when the Rams drafted Michael Sam in the 7th round? And the story came out afterwards that they got the call and they said, can you please do us a favor and draft him? Because he didn't even make the team.
Yeah.
Didn't he get cut didn't he not even make the team?
I don't think he made the team.
Yeah, so Michael Sam gets drafted because he and it was like, well, if we don't draft him because he's gay, it's going to look like they didn't draft him because he was gay, even though he was projected to be a 7th rounder or an undrafted player. And it's like, well, he was the defensive player of the year in the Big Ten. Yes, so what? Gino Toretta won the friggin' Heisman and they won the national championship. He sucked. No one wanted him. Yeah. So I 1,000% agree with you. Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, is it's kind of like a dirty owner. He's poorly run that franchise. He's been federally investigated and stuff. I think he got the call from Roger Goodell. A couple owners got the call and he said, I need you to draft him. Because to your point, it looked bad. It looked bad. And whether or not this had anything to do with race, and I'm talking to a black man here, right? So like whether or not this had anything to do with race, like the deeper it goes, the more it looks like that, hey, maybe they're not saying we're not drafting him because he's black, but it's like, oh, well, he's too confident. He's too cocky. And it's like, oh, really? So you're not drafting players because they're too confident and too cocky? Like, okay, so that's the way it's going to be? And by the way, like, I see why he slid. I understand why he slid. I thought he was a 2nd round draft pick. And I actually think Shadeur Sanders is going to have a nice NFL career. I think he can play a little bit. But now you piss teams off and you piss owners off and you piss coaches off and GMs off. And they say, you know what? We don't want to deal with you. So I think there was a lot of things in play, including his dad and the way he acted in some of these interviews. And just like, Blackadder, here's the other thing. He made more money last year at Colorado than he's going to make in his entire NFL first contract. Right?
Yep.
So he came in being like, hey, I'm already a millionaire. Who the hell are you? Yep. Right? Like, I'm not, like, you want to give me all these questions. Like, I'm interviewing you. You're not interviewing me. And you say that to NFL coaches, that's the last thing they want to hear. So I think there's a lot of things in play here.
So two things. One, I think that his attitude is being put against him because of his race. I'll put that over there. Because when the Manning family said they didn't want to go somewhere and Archie said, my son's not playing for this, they got to do what they wanted to do. John Elway got to do what he wanted to do. So now this kid can't do what he wants to do. They're also, besides the race thing, they're fighting against the NIL. They're like, look, these kids are coming in here more entitled. Like you said, they're already rich. Let's show him something. That's what I mean about collusion. Not collusion just against race, but a collusion against power. I can't have one of the most wealthy players coming into this league thinking he can dictate what he wants to me. And I realized that because the Giants went out there and said, oh, he did bad in the interview and this and that. I'm like, well, you also interviewed Daniels, and a 12-year-old told the GM, Zaddy, sign him, and you didn't. And he ended up being the best quarterback. So obviously you don't know anything about quarterbacks. So you shouldn't even be talking about this guy. Secondly, I know for a fact that a lot of like the Saints fans are upset. If you're on the internet and you look at type in Saints, they're enraged that they didn't pick him. But Kellen Moore's a young coach. Now, Deion Sanders is going to be there every day. He's got a job. I'm sorry, his daddy got a day job across the country. But if you're a young coach going and signing Shadeur and you suck the first 2 years, daddy might pick up that phone and take your job. And so they're like, look, I can't have this kid here. Not only am I getting the pressure on me, his dad might come take my job because everybody in the NFL would love to have Deion on their team as their coach. So there's a lot of things in play. I'm just putting that base at like, it's because he's a braggadocious brother and they want to make sure that they tamp down these dudes with all this money. He was sent a message. And they didn't want him going to the Eagles because we are a QB factory and a great organization. If anybody can lift him up to great heights, they did not want that. The market's too high for Sanders to come here. The jerseys would be through the roof. And he'd be mentored by Jalen Hurts, one of the calmest, coolest, smoothest brothers on the planet. Man, get him out there to Cleveland. Hopefully we wreck his career and get him out of the NFL ASAP. That's what we got to do.
We will come back here. And listen, it's going to be a busy final segment of the show because we have our BetParx Parlay of the day.
Parlay.
And then we also have a bet. It's who would you take, a gorilla or 100 men in a death match? There's actually odds out there on this. We have that. We have the Belichick video and a couple other things we're going to sprinkle in. Philly, John Marks, don't go anywhere. 2-2. We are back. Let's talk about Rothman for a second. If you're in pain, my prediction, pain. That's my prediction for a lot of people out there because it's warm out. We're finally in the 70s and the 80s. So you know what that means? Like, oh, I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go for a run. I got to get in shape for the beach. And then if you're an older guy like me that's getting a little bit older, well, what happens? Oh, my knee. Oh, my back. Oh, my neck, right? Rothman's got you. So don't wait. Don't wait because you should be entitled to do the things that you love. And if you're not doing that because you're in constant pain and you're living on ibuprofen, get to Rothman Orthopedics. They specialize in you. Each Rothman doc is laser focused on their specialty. Hip, knee, spine, you name it. They have a team for each body part right in your backyard. So you're getting the best care ever. So if you like to run or garden, maybe it's just shooting hoops, or whatever it is, and you're not doing that because you're in pain, it's just normal. I'm going to go play golf. My shoulder kills me after I play golf. Well, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go play golf anymore. No, go to Rothman. Go to Rothman right now, specializing in everything. So we have hip, knee, spine, shoulder, elbow, foot and ankle, hand and wrist, sports medicine, physical medicine, rehab, orthopedic, oncology, trauma and fracture care. And Rothman proudly serves dozens of communities across Pennsylvania and New Jersey, 30-plus convenient offices, urgent cares, and walk-in centers. So check them out. And I went to Rothman in Limerick for my shoulder. Check them out. RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. You can make an appointment and learn more. Hoo-ah. All right. Glad hair restoration. I mean, listen, Tyler put it up there when I was being called Tim Bontemps. Tim Bontemps should go to Glad Hair Restoration. The experts in the industry, right? Like, yes, I was thinning. I was starting to go bald. I didn't like what I saw. I remember I got a new license picture, and I looked at it, and I'm like, this is a better picture than the last one. But look at the friggin' hairline. Look at how much it's receded over the course of however many years it is, right? That's natural. that you lose hair like that, unless you're really, really blessed with a great hairline. Well, there's something you can do about it. You can slow down the receding. You can stop the receding with Glad Hair Restoration. So it's not just about restoration. It's about innovation. We're talking about science, folks. In 2025, there are many ways to slow that receding down. And Glad Hair Restoration has the most experience in the business when it comes to hair. It's all they do. Over 30 years of industry experience in hair. That's why you go to them. That's why I went to them. So restoration, check. You want to slow it down so you don't need to get their hair restoration. Give them a call today. Text them or call them at 610-980-4000. 610-980-4000. Or the website is glathairmm.com. G-L-A-T hairmm.com. Glathairmm.com. 610-980-4000. Or reach out to me on social media. My DMs are wide open. I actually have pictures. If you go to my Instagram page, I chronicled when I had hair restoration. Just go back a couple of years and you'll see before pictures, after pictures, what it looked like during the procedure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Glathairmm.com. Hoo-ah. All right, we are back with Black Gritty in the house today.
We are back.
We are back. By the way, a new Philly feud debuting later this week as defending champion Tyler Zulli is going to take on our PHLY daily editor, Rich Hoffman.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
He's a smart man. It's going to be tough competition.
Yeah, Tyler's going down. I believe in Tyler, but not this week.
Oh, ooh.
All right.
Okay. All right. Early prediction. That is not a part of our BetParx Parlay of the day.
I mean, honestly, it probably could be at this point.
Well, Tyler, I was wondering if you went to Andrew Frazier for a soccer pick or something, because
Probably should have.
He hit on Friday. Now, last night, and I'm not. This isn't braggadocious because I took a minus 330 winner. But I mean, the fact that the Heat were down by 40 points at halftime. I don't know if you saw this last night, Black Gritty. Yeah. But the Cavs sweep the Heat. They won by like 80 points or something like that. So I had them on the money line, so that was an easy win. Unfortunately, see, Tyler likes to do these first inning, over-under, one run. Last night he went with the Orioles and the Yankees, which did not go over. They just scored in the second inning.
Scored in the second inning, of course they did.
They scored in the second inning. So it's a loss. We are, what are we up now? We are plus 83. So it would be nice to get a win here. But what do we have in store? Tyler Zulli, what do you have for the BetParx Parlay?
So I have not played a lot of NBA plays since we started this, but I'm going to go to one tonight because if there's any indication of teams closing out like we saw last night with the Cavs and the Heat, I like the Pacers in this one today to close out the series against the Bucks. But I'm going to go to one player in particular, and I'm going to go to Pascal Siakam. To get the over is a bundle. It's points, rebounds, and assists combined. And the play is Pascal Siakam over 30 points, rebounds, and assists combined. I get that at minus 150. He's done that in 3 of the 4 games that they've played so far. The only one that he hadn't was the most recent one, but he also only played 29 minutes. He ended up with 19. But every other game so far that they've played, he's hit that over 30 mark. So at minus 150, I'm going to take Siakam over 30 points, rebounds, and assists combined.
All right, I got that. Damn, all right. That's a good one right there. All right, I think I have it. Minus 150. All right, Black Gritty, did you have a leg in the parlay, my friend?
Well, now I don't. I want us to win.
Okay.
I want us to win. So let me just take the Phils to win tonight.
Okay, I love it.
Not tomorrow, Phils.
I love it. I agree with that too, because Wheeler has looked good to very good, but not necessarily great. MacKenzie Gore got him the first time. This is where the Phillies need to all right, let's get going, guys. Yeah. All right, let's win this series. Let's get a couple wins, maybe even a sweep. Let's get going, guys. The offense needs to wake up. I expect a big Schwarber game tonight, by the way. So there you go. So you have the Phillies, all right, and let me go with. See, I've been hitting my NBA games. Do you see the end of the Knicks Bucks game? Or the Knicks Pistons game the other night?
Yes.
Atrocious.
Basketball has really made me angry this postseason. They're playing football. And I mean, the refs aren't calling anything. And I'm like, what are we doing? And then the things they do call, even in replays, it's just like, I feel like there's money on games. That game, if I was a Piston, I would be enraged at the end of that game. And I don't like either one of those teams. I could care less. But just as now I'm just spectator watching, I'm like, what is going on? People just out here tackling people. Nobody's getting any foul calls. Then they're hand checking, they're crying about it. It's really weird, Johnny Marks. I don't know. The ratings are down. Like, let's just push certain teams through. I don't know what.
But the Knicks got a beneficial call that really won them the game. It would have been 3 foul shots. You hit 2 foul shots, the game's over. I agree. With that being said, I think the Knicks win tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mess around. It's 5.5 points. I like them on 5.5 points. I'm going to take them on the money line, minus 235. I really like the Pistons team. Knicks aren't winning squat this year, so all you Knicks fans, you Knicks fans out there. But they're not winning squat, but I'll take them minus 235. And you had the Philadelphia Phillies on the money line to win. So we're going to take that, and that is going to put us at plus 263 for a $100 bet. So we're going to bet 50 on that. 50 to win 132, we'll say. All right?
So that feels good. That feels solid.
50 to win 132. 50 for 132. All right, we got that.
How about that Jimmy Butler effect too, by the way?
And that's been a hell of a series too. Rockets are a pretty good looking young team, but that's been a good series. That was down to the wire again last night.
Yep. Draymond's out there bullying people too again. I mean, like I said, they're playing football right now. They're pushing people around. Like it's wild.
It's good.
It's wild to watch.
It's entertaining. Jimmy has really brought them. Like, you know what you're getting with Jimmy, but he's reinvigorated being out there. It won't last the whole time. He'll be wrestling with Draymond at some point, but
yeah, 100%.
It's working right now. It's good for the NBA. And then they don't play until tomorrow night, I guess, but the Lakers are on the verge of being eliminated.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Love it.
Oh, LeBron's going to retire. LeBron's not retiring. He's playing 2 more years, so his other son can get in the league.
Right.
He's not going to be like Deion. He's getting his kids drafted.
Oh, yeah, no, he's going to. Yeah, the Lakers will be drafting another James. All right, so let's do this. This is put up on the. This is put up. Black Gritty, who would you take, gorilla or man? And this is a fight to the death. We have a little video that goes with it because there's odds up there, and they're not real odds, but you'll see in the video. It's fight to the death. 100 men or 1 gorilla. All right, here's the video that kind of introduces.
The biggest debate on the internet right now is who would win in a fight, 1 gorilla or 100 humans. The hypothetical odds are out, and the gorilla is minus 500 to beat 100 humans, but I'm not so sure. I would sprinkle humans at plus 300 because the value is insane. Realistically, there's no way the humans can beat the gorilla if they don't show up and have a coordinated attack plan. But if you got guys that are willing to run through a brick wall and will do anything to beat that gorilla and have a plan of attack, there's no reason they can't win the fight. And that answer is right from ChatGPT, so there's no reason you shouldn't be sprinkling plus 300 for this fight.
All right, Black Gritty, I'll just tell you, I'm going gorilla all the way. I'm going minus 500. You can put 100 men up there unless everybody is going to agree. I could die, but if I die, it's going to be for the common cause of killing this gorilla. And I don't think that humans are built to do that. I know we go to war and things like that, but there's guns with war. You're going up against a gorilla that can rip your arm off in hand-to-hand combat. I'm going gorilla minus 500. Your thoughts?
So if I personally, Owen J.J. Stone, a.k.a. Black Gritty, got to select the 100 humans, we would win 1,000 out of 1,000 times. If you're telling me an average 100 men are getting picked to go against this gorilla, they're losing every single time. If you just have the average man, pick 100 of them against that gorilla, you're done. You're donezo.
So here's what we do. Here's what we do, Gritty. Here's what we do. It's like in Vietnam when they had the lottery and people got drafted into the war. That's what we do with this.
Yep.
At random, 100 people get drafted.
If it's a lottery, the gorilla every time, every single time.
Yeah, because you can't run away, or they're just going to find you and kill you at some point.
So I'll give you my strategy in the quickest way possible. I got 100 dudes, right? I'm taking the top 20 guys from strongman competitions. The dudes that lift up those boulders over their heads that can lift, 300, 400, 500 pounds. That's my first wave. Then I'm taking the top 20 Marine, militia, the Secret Service, whoever they are. I'm taking dudes from the Vatican. That's my next wave. Then I'm taking the top martial art dudes. You know what I mean? Yeah. My last 5 are going to be physicists. They're going to be the smartest guys on the planet that puts a strategy together for all those guys that I have out there on the field. And we will crush that gorilla. But if it's a draft, that gorilla is going crazy.
Tyler Zubli, I'll ask you, if the gorilla was to win and there was a prop bet on how many men he killed in the process, where are you going with that?
Yeah, I think that I think that, first of all, I do think I agree with BG. If it's just 100 random people, you are not winning this fight. And because like coordinated attack is not enough, because you have to have people that are going to be like, hey, I'm on the front line. Pretty good chance I'm not making it out of this thing. And you have to almost have a mindset of that being a plausible outcome to even have a chance to win this fight. But I don't think the humans are winning this fight. I really don't. Bare hands, like, what are you going to do? So you going to square up with the gorilla? Like 100 of you just in like boxer stance?
You would have to have everybody storm him at once.
It would have to be 100 guys at once just jump in and attack.
Think about this.
And even that, they trample each other trying to get into the fight. And last thing I'll say, real quick, I'll let you guys get back to it. ChatGPT, now I know it's sentient. Terminator's on the way, because that app sent us out here to die. It's like, oh yeah, you could definitely take the gorilla. Go out there and get it, humans.
You know,
that sounds like a setup.
You know, I like the Civil War and the Revolutionary War, that the two sides would just like pretty much stand in front of each other and just fire. That's what you're doing against a gorilla. If you go up against a gorilla, you might as well just aim bayonets at each other, because the first line is going to be dead. It's a matter of the people that are behind them. So you throw the losers up there first that you know are going to die, and then the sergeants and they're the guys that have to come in and but I just don't think what are you going to do? Punch them to death?
By the way, John, you bring something up there. Talk about the stupidest way to have warfare possible. It's like, all right, gentlemen, it's your turn to fire at us, and we'll just stand here and
Everybody
see what
stands,
happens.
yeah, shoots at each
Oh,
other.
I didn't die. It's my turn to shoot you. Who thought that was a good idea?
If you go later on and search it, there's a video where there's a guy standing in like the Congo bush, and then he just disappears, and a gorilla drags him like a child up into a tree, and he's like calm as can be, and the gorilla like ends up dropping him or whatever. I'm like, dude, they're so strong. They're so strong. I mean, this is like a 6 foot something dude. Like, he was a big man, and the gorilla's like, yo, here, you're coming with me, and just walked away with him. So I mean, woo. I mean, I'd love to see it. I wish we could do it. But we can't harm animals in America.
What was the name of the gorilla that the kid dropped in there, and they're like, why did you shoot a Harambe or something like that?
Yeah, Harambe.
Why did you shoot a Harambe? Why do you think? Well, it's an animal. I mean, it's unfortunately Harambe was collateral damage that the dummy let his kid fly over the side of it. But what do you think was going to happen? He got a hold of that kid. You had to shoot the damn thing. I did a whole show with Jamie Lynch on Harambe, I think, one morning.
So on YouTube, it's Gorilla Drags Ranger. Like, if you watch it, 4.1 million views 17 years ago. He just walks off with the dude. Dude's sitting there, he just starts dragging him real quick. The dude's so calm, he's like, all right, my bad. Yeah. I almost got kidnapped.
No, they'll literally rip your arm off a socket. That's how strong the gorilla is. Like, I'm taking gorilla minus 500. And it's not great odds, but I would load up on it. I wouldn't just bet 500. I'd bet 5,000 to win 1,000. There you go.
Dude, so here's my last thing. How long do you think it would take?
For 100?
Like, if you're in a caged arena, because that's the other thing too. I'm putting them in like a 30 by 30 room. You can't go anywhere. Like, I need just enough room for you to have like the platform, like the boxing ring, and then like the outside, that one little area where everybody's sitting in the seats. That's how tight it's got to be. Because there's going to be dudes running for the hills. They're going to be trying to jump out of the cage.
Tyler Zuli, over under on how long it would take. What would you set it at?
I think it's a quick fight, because I think one of two things. Either it's a pretty distinct win for the gorilla, or eventually it is going to get tired.
It's still, you have to kill 100 people.
Yeah.
Which is going to be time consuming.
So I think the more likelier scenario is the tired sets in for one of the two groups. So I think it's a quicker fight than you think.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would set the over under 10 minutes, and then you would have to go from there. 100 people is a lot, but the gorilla could kill probably 10 guys in a minute.
Yeah.
Easy. Maybe a little bit more. 15 minutes over under. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to finish up strong. But if you're watching on TV, slide on over to allphly.com, because it's overtime. There you go. All right. So we've actually, there's certain things that on the program that I will save for some of our co-hosts. And the Belichick conversation, this is a me and you and Tyler conversation here, because I can't get enough of it. I wish I was working in Boston sports media so I could talk about this all the time. It'd be great. Because Bill Belichick was such a dick for so long. And when you win all those Super Bowls, you get away with it. But the minute you stop winning, you see what happens. People turn on you, and then you're out of here. The behavior of Bill Belichick, and I know people are going to say, leave him alone. Let him do what he wants to do. No, like this chick is absolutely out of her damn mind. And I mean, you had said earlier, they need an intervention with this dude because she is running things down in North Carolina, legitimately running his life at this point. He's elderly. I mean, get a welfare check on this guy. He may not know what's going on, Black Ready.
Yeah, when you say it like that, I'm like, he would be somebody's grandpa at this point. Just having his house taken away from him, his little boat. Like if he just had a regular life and this kind of thing happened, they would be like, look, Dad, this isn't good for you. But since he's Bill Belichick, you're just letting him, and he gave her a title, gave her a position. Like you're paying her. Like, come on, bro. If you're in love, be in love. But giving her this job and letting her run your media, and then you show up on Good Morning America looking like you're 50 Cent, like you got shot 9 times, you just survived. Like, put a shirt on, bro. I know it's your jam, but my God.
Yeah, it's like this is like a Wendy Williams situation, although he doesn't think anything's wrong. She knew something was wrong. She was like jailed in some room. Bill Belichick is willingly doing this. But so this is 60 minutes. And it's like an 8-minute interview of some of the most awkward television ever. He was not prepared for the questioning about the girlfriend and asking about Robert Kraft and stuff. He's promoting his book. And he thought it was going to be softball questions or whatever. No. So they start asking him about the 24-year-old girlfriend. Her name's not Jordan. It's Jordan. Because it's Jordon, who is a 24-year-old who now all the talk is that she was a hooker, and that's how Bill met her. Although it's well documented that they met on a plane and they were talking philosophy or whatever. No, she's just straight nuts. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing that she was
If they met on a plane, then he could have said that. The way she shut him down, they didn't meet on a plane. The plane was a cover story, bro. Because if they met on a plane, you let him answer it because he could talk out 3 minutes of this 8-minute interview with that. If they met on a plane, they met on a plane. They met on like an Epstein type plane. Like, no, dude, he didn't meet on a plane. That's not what went down. She was adamant, bro. She was like, gangster. We are not talking about that. And Bill's like, you got Stockholm syndrome, man.
So let's play it. This is 30 seconds from. So this is like kind of behind the scenes. She stormed out, and they had to stop the interview for 30 minutes until they got it going again. And they were supposed to do a part 2. They were supposed to sit down with it again, and CBS News said, nah, we're good. We don't need to do that. They got what they needed from this. But so she stormed out, and she was expecting Bill to be following her because that's his role now. But she didn't have the leash on him, which is why he didn't come. He didn't realize he was supposed to go. He was just sitting there with the bullet hole sweatshirt. So here's how it looked on 60 Minutes on Sunday.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
So I think Bill answered the question correctly. The follow-up is ballsy to ask. It's ballsy, and I give him credit because I probably wouldn't have asked that, knowing Bill Belichick, right? But you know what she needs to do? Shut up and let him deal with it. And he could say he could have shut that down himself. She didn't. I mean, listen, it adds to the conspiracy theory of, will he fumble and not answer the question correctly? Bill's been able to say nothing for 30 years as an NFL coach. Like, you got to be able to trust that he's not going to screw that up. But they certainly weren't expecting it. That's for sure.
So one, I hate Bill Belichick. Two, thank goodness he didn't become the coach here, and I had to deal with that. You know what I mean? You're worried about Shadeur. I would have had to deal with this dude and this tiny bopper as the Eagles head coach. That would have been enraging to deal with. And now I really hate him. She's wearing a Navy sweater. He's wearing a Navy sweater. So is he out here just cutting holes in his pants like he's Kanye to make it look cool and edgy? Those are new sweaters. Why do you have holes and rips in them? So you're cutting them like jeans? Like, bro, grow up. I'm disgusted with this man. I'm disgusted with this man. I'm disgusted with this man, Johnny Marks. I can't stand it.
No, she cut the holes in the sweatshirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's her.
She's wearing a navy sweater too. I'm like, so y'all went out and picked out sweaters, the same one. You got one gray, he got one dark gray, and you had to cut holes in it because he's Bill Belichick and he wears cut off shirts. And what are we doing?
And you just wait.
Doing?
Because the stories that come out afterwards, it's being reported that North Carolina is like, oh my God, what are we doing? If he wins, nobody's going to care. If they're 6-5 and like you know what needs to happen? Someone needs to get to Bill and say, hey, because the rumor is they're getting married later this year. So if that's the case, she ain't going anywhere. Someone's got to get to Bill and say, hey, listen, this is a really bad idea, what you're doing right here. This woman is nuts. She is absolutely out of her damn mind. And if you want to, you can go out, you can find a girl that's 25 years old that's attractive, and you can bang her all you want. All right? You don't need some maniac that's running your life. Everything, like, he doesn't even respond to email. Everything goes through her. This is unbelievable. Yeah. Can you imagine the greatest coach in NFL history's life is being run by a 24-year-old maniac? I love it. I can't get enough. It's great.
You're young enough to date my son. Your son wouldn't even date a 24-year-old right now. Your son is dating people.
Dude, I'm 48. I'm happily married. If my wife was to divorce me, I wouldn't date a 24-year-old.
So I'm 45 maybe, and it was funny because this came up. My daughter's it's on TikTok. My daughter's in. Like, I was like, so how young am I allowed to date? She's like, you have to date somebody who's always 10 years older than me. So she's like, I'm 18 right now. Your number's 28. When I turn 19, it's 29. The older I get, the higher the number goes for you. It raises on a 10-year scale because she's like, I can't have you dating somebody I went to high school with. And I'm like, fair. This person, you're dating somebody who went to high school with your grandchild. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so 28, like, so 25, okay. Like, people can do whatever the hell they want to do. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
if you want to go out and have fun. This is crazy what is happening here. If he was just like, it's his girlfriend and was like, oh, well, look at this piece. And he's going to the ESPYs and she's accompanying him everywhere. Like, that's great. She's going out on the field during spring practice in this getup like she's Faith Hill, and she's working stuff. She's running stuff. Oh my God, it's crazy. I love it.
And he's not going to win in North Carolina, by the way. That shtick is NIL has killed all that. Nobody's going there to get bossed around but his grumpy old men and his teeny bopper girlfriend. Because she's in every meeting now. She's in every game now. And heaven forbid, some young buck looks at her the wrong way. Like, come on, dude.
I can't wait to see. This is great.
It's going to be wild. This is great.
All right, I mean, speaking of that, we'll end with this, Black Gritty. Is Bill Belichick not far away? Do we have the fight that we had earlier? Is Bill Belichick not too far? I don't know how old this is. I just saw it yesterday. Or I don't know when I saw it recently. And I'm like, what the hell is this? This is the greatest thing ever.
Do I know the guy in the orange shirt? I feel like I know that guy. Oh, it's a nursing home.
It's at a nursing home, yeah. First of all, why is somebody videotaping this? He threw a left hook, it landed, man.
So somebody told me a nursing home is just like going back to high school. And that's literally what that feels like. Somebody's filming that. Like, the kids going to the bathroom to fight, so none of the teachers see him. Like, whose grandpa is filming that? Like, come on, get him, Earl. Get him, Earl.
You know who's filming that? One of the orderlies or somebody that works there because they think it's funny.
I would hope it's not the orderlies. Oh man, we're not on air anymore, really. But like, remember bum fights? I used to do that. Like, they would go around and do those kind of things. Like, if that's the orderly filming that, he has got to get fired today. You in there got my pup up risking his life. You know what I mean? They're like, forget wrestling gorillas. Let's just go to old folks' homes and have them duke it out.
So here's probably, Tyler, this is probably the scenario in it. They're arguing. So you pull out the phone because it's funny, not expecting this dude's going to start throwing punches because they quickly stop it after. It's only a 2-second video.
That might be true, too.
All right.
Grumpy old men.
I love it. Tyler, coming up on PHLY Phillies show today. What do we got and what time?
Going to talk a little Bryson Stott and why he's kind of been succeeding in the leadoff spot. I think there's a mechanical change that he's made this year that I think has been significant. It's very, very minute, but I think it's very significant.
He looks good. All right. Everybody, appreciate you tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, watch live every morning from 8 to 9. Listen to the audio-only podcast. Search Philly Philly with John Marks wherever you find your podcast. Rate, review. 5-star reviews are greatly appreciated. Everybody, have a great afternoon. Anthony's live right now. We will talk to you later. See ya.